Welcome to the Geek Swarm YouTube channel. I am Michael.
I'm Fee.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition book, Eberron, Rising of the Lost War. Now, Fee, Eberron was a contest-winning campaign?
Yes, it was a campaign setting that was in a contest way back when D&D wanted to have something new. So they asked a bunch of people to submit some ideas, and this one, and the winner is, who was it?
Keith Baker.
Keith Baker.
I believe.
He was the one who created the campaign setting, so now this is a revised game setting for 5th edition.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about Eberron before. I didn't really play too much in that setting. So we kind of want to start out by this book is not like some of the other books that are out where it's got adventures and different campaigns. This is just a setting book. This is just telling you all about the world of Eberron.
Yeah, so like some of the previous ones, like Greyhawk, or if they ever do one for Faerun. So these are just campaign settings. The only thing I know about Eberron, they incorporate magic into technology. So that's one of the interesting thing about it.
It's kind of like a steampunk mixed with magics.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
So,
because, magic is part of their technology and it's infused with it.
Yeah, so you read the background because it's always cool.
Okay.
Play with text in the back. Professional.
All right. Whether aboard an airship or a train car, embark on thrilling adventures shrouded in intrigue. Discover secrets buried by years of devastating war in which magic-fueled weapons threatened an entire continent. In the post-war world, magic pervades everyday life, and people of all sorts flock to Sharn, a city of wonders where skyscrapers pierce the clouds. Will you find your fortune on mean city streets or scouring haunted battlefields? Will you throw your lot in with the mighty dragon-marked houses? Will you seek truth as a newspaper reporter, a university researcher, or a government spy? Or will you forge a destiny that defies the scars of war?
Okay. So we're going to dig into this book and show you what you get with it.
Yeah, so we're
going to try to skim over a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of go through the different chapters and stuff in the book. Now, in the very beginning is a welcome to Eberron chapter, which kind of goes into what some of the other chapters are going to be and the history of Eberron.
Yeah. They tell about the Great War that occurred, what happened to it. So it says rising after the last war. So they're going to tell you what might have caused the war, what the war involves, and then the results.
It's like a war just happened and everybody's trying to continue on after that.
Yeah.
So the war is over, and everybody's just trying to continue their life kind of after.
Yeah, but they also are trying to, because this book has a lot of intrigue in it, because as the war's over, because no one really won the war. It was actually due to a natural disaster that the war ended, and that threat put everybody together in a peace, but as a tentative peace. So they're at peace, but there's always a chance a new war could start.
Yeah, and when you said like intrigue, it says like right here by chance that Eberron draws inspiration from noir and hard-boiled fiction. So it does have a lot of that in here.
Yeah.
And it talks a little bit about some of the transportation. Right here talks about the last war, and it gives kind of a timeline and what kind of happened through. So if you're new to Eberron, kind of like me, you can kind of read and get a feel for it.
Yeah, it's a really intriguing read, because I went and read through it just to see it and said, that's pretty cool, because they show you some of the dynamics of the magic that involves.
Now, Chapter 1 is character creation, and it has a couple of new races in here. You have the Changeling, which can shape change and disguise themselves. You have different goblinoids, which goblins are different in Eberron than they are in some of the other...
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that's pretty cool with this one, that goblins are actually a player race that you can do. Because you used to be able, you could play it, if you go off the monster manual, they show you that you can play a goblin, but...
I think one of the books had it where you can play as one,
but Eberron, they are normal, you see goblins out in the street. like normal people. So in this world, they're not as hated, and they're more of a humanoid type creatures.
You have the Kalishtar, humanoids bound to spirits from the plane of dreams. Orcs, you can now play those.
Yeah.
Shifters, which it says draw on their distant lycanthrope heritage to
Yeah.
manifest bestial traits.
So basically, the shifters are hybrids of a lycanthrope and a regular person. What their mate would be. So it becomes a shifter that can do partial transformation.
And then you have one of my favorites out of the book, the Warforged, which is basically a artificial life form, like a wizard summoned it, and the wizard died. So now it doesn't know kind of what to do with itself, and it's trying to find its place. So a lot of the Warforged kind of banded together. Later on, we'll kind of go through that.
Do you want to tell you what because I did read through Warforged. It's pretty interesting how they were created, because they actually came about from the last war, because they were machines of destruction. That, you know how when you get a war, science, you want to bring in the next greatest thing, so they infuse metal constructs, golems of sort, with sentient beings.
And you also have like different classes in here now, where you could be like that they have the new
Artificers,
artificers,
who are the ones, because he told you earlier that they're bounded, that the magic is bound into technology. They are the one who created the Artificers. And we also have, what was that other?
Let's see.
Artificers, and I think the biggest one is the Dragon Mark.
Yeah.
Additions.
Let's see here. This kind of goes through some of the different races in Eberron, and you can see kind of some of the goblins right here. See one of them with what looks to be a gun. See, that would be just a fun, different. You can play like a bugbear. So I know a lot of people would probably want to play a bugbear. So now you can kind of move that over if you want to. Trying to kind of go through some of the stuff. Here are the dragon marks that Fee was talking about earlier, where certain people in certain families will have a mark on them, kind of like a tattoo.
Yeah, it's like a sigil. It's like a tattoo sigil, a magic tattoo that imbues them with power. But that makes them marked, because the whole spoiler, the whole background of it was they get the powers from dragons. Like, people originally were from dragons, so they left on some of the descendants dragon marks.
So it says certain people from certain families.
Yeah, and you have to be, and certain races are in each. So the marks are in houses now. So that's a cool picture.
Here's all the marks. You got the mark of detection, the mark of finding, the mark of handling, the mark of healing, the mark of hospitality, mark of making, mark of passage, mark of scribbling, mark of sentinel, mark of shadow, mark of storm, and mark of warning.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the marks are that they're race specific. Only certain races can be like certain marks.
And it kind of goes through here.
So, and then it goes to each mark. Like, I know, like, I was looking at the mark of shadows. Only elves can be marked as shadows. So that's pretty, and those are pretty much all the assassins, and so that's where they look at the
and
marks.
The artificer. Here's all the information on that, which, like Fee was saying, they imbuse magic in items. So if you wanted this regular item to do something cool, you can infuse it with magic spell or magic item or something where it adds that to it.
Yeah, so imagine like the gnome tinker that used to be able to create all of this wondrous little creation. Well, now you can imbue your magic into it as well and make it even more powerful with the artificer. You want to try something like that.
Yeah. Oh, you want this item to have shoot out lightning? Bam! I could do that.
See, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, here's a little picture from that. kind of goes in on that, and then it kind of goes into the different classes like the Battlesmith. So once you get to level 3 on that, you can kind of change in.
Yes. This world does have some guns, so you can use guns, which is a little bit different. This is if you want a patron, because there's not really like true gods.
Yeah, this is a little different. Basically, you can have different patrons that kind of gives you different missions and different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, you need to do this. So that's a way you can get your group together to go on different adventures if your patron is trying to put you all together. And it's got different patrons and kind of what they do and kind of what they offer.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of pages for that.
Oh, yeah.
I do like if you look here, there's snippets. It looks like articles, like news articles throughout the whole thing. Once you get to each little chapters after this, that breaks it down and say, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So you get a quick highlight and then you go into detail. So we're at the point where you are looking at each individual, I think, races and areas.
Yeah, and how to define your characters, what they can do, in what group.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now we're getting into chapter 2, which is the Corvair Gazette. Let's see.
Corvair is basically the world you're in.
Yeah,
so these tell all the
a
nations.
Continent.
Yeah, this tells you all the nations.
You can kind of look here at the full map. And yeah, this just kind of goes into the different cities, the different towns, and different stuff like that. Some of the major sites.
Yeah,
and,
so this is where the juice of the campaign setting is. You go into each little nation, figure out where you want to go, who is here. So
yeah, it's a pretty good sized chapter.
It is thick.
Yep. And
you keep on going.
Boom, yeah, chapter 3 focuses on Sharn.
Yeah,
the City of Towers.
So how Mike mentioned earlier when he first read that script, everybody's going to Sharn, which is probably the biggest city there that just goes up to the sky.
And they say a lot of your adventures could be in the city of Sharn. So they go into detail about that.
I think there should be a map.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that's all.
Yeah, probably in here somewhere.
Yeah, see? Look at that. Look at that huge.
That is a huge town. You can see a lot of different people kind of meet there.
Whew.
And it goes into the major areas of it. It has lots of different information about the different districts.
And locations. So basically, it's a lot of stuff for DMs to work with.
Oh, yeah. Things to do in this area, things to do in that area of Sharn, what kind of people you could find there. And it goes through very detailed areas.
Yeah, I think there you go.
Chapter 4 is all about building adventures. So this has different like adventure themes, kind of some villains that you might can kind of bring up. I do like that picture right there.
Are you going to bring that villain?
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil any of my future adventures.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, though.
Yeah. But it talks about how to make different villains from Eberron, different NPCs that you might can add, different stories. See, this has charts of how you can kick off a story, adventure, opening scenes. So if you're like, you know what, I don't know kind of what to do, you could just roll on some charts and get going.
Yeah, because remember, Mike loves charts. Charts are his favorite friends.
I do. It talks about the different cults, like cults of the dragon below, cults in the war, the different dragons, the chamber, and it's got lots of maps.
So a bunch of villains, a bunch of people you can encounter. So another semi-thick chapter.
Oh yeah, it goes into a lot of detail.
Yeah, the Emerald Call.
Yeah, another different location. Travel in Eberron. Oh man, look at all this. More charts of stuff that would happen in the streets. Which, yeah.
So.
Okay. Flipping. That's probably going to be, I think, your biggest chapter.
Because there should be some. Okay, now, let's see.
Chapter 5, treasures.
Yeah, that's what.
Magic items.
Stuff specific for Eberron.
Yes, it goes in and adds You can kind of see a cool little picture here. Kind of looks like he has a giant gauntlet type of thing.
Yeah.
It goes over different machines, different items. It's kind of a smaller chapter because it goes right into chapter 6, Friends and Foes.
So a bestiary, pretty much.
Yeah, so this goes into, I mean, would you want to run into them?
Yeah, all basically a bunch of major players that you probably don't want to.
Yeah, and it's got like different pictures of different monsters and stuff.
Yeah, because I've had that a miniature for that. I was wondering, where the heck is he from? Now I know.
Yeah, it's got like different other creatures.
Yeah, I think you don't have to show them all of them.
No, I'm not going to show them
You'd be
all.
surprised.
I'm trying to show like different ones that you might not see. Yeah, I definitely don't want to show them that one.
Or that one. Or that one.
Well, you have
right.
a Rakashka.
Yeah,
so.
those are fine.
Yeah, but yeah, it's got different other monsters and creatures and more stat blocks because again, they're going to be a little different in Eberron than the other 5e books in the Monster Manual. And it goes into some different NPCs and stats like your Changeling, a Bone Knight, a Kalistar, kind of picture what that looks like, some stats.
And I think that should be it. Yeah, and then we have this, which is ultra cool.
Yes, which I have not pulled out yet,
And
but
we
it
probably won't-
actually has the map of
Poster Bear?
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah, it has a giant map. I think there should be at least 2 or 3 maps inside of it, not that giant map is part of, that you can just pull one
Pull
map
out and
out.
show layout for your players and go, okay, you are here, we're starting here, so they can kind of get an idea.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's kind of flipping through the book of Eberron, and yeah, remember that this is a campaign setting book. This doesn't have any different, like a bunch of different adventures and different stuff like that. There's a little small adventure in here to kind of get you going and get a feel for how Eberron is.
Yeah. But as a campaign setting, it shows you how they like the story to untold, and it does give you a lot of suggestions though, like suggestions how you can use certain things. So it's actually pretty good.
So yeah, if you're looking for a new setting that has more, magic and technology kind of blended together, definitely check out Eberron. There's a lot of stuff I kind of want to put in my game already.
Yeah, a lot of travel stuff is actually pretty cool.
Like the different airships.
The airship, the lightning rails.
Yeah.
Those are pretty. The warp circles.
Yep.
They have warp circles everywhere. So this is actually pretty cool. So if you want to blend some more technology into your
Game.
fantasy world, hey, check out Eberron.
All right. This has been a Geek Swarm YouTube video. I am Michael.
I'm Fee.
And thank you for watching. Later. Subscribe. Hit that bell.
Yep.